Hi, beauty. This has a solution. That is the new mantra that I have adopted, and I hope you can adopt into your own life too. To share a story, the other day I was at the pharmacy picking up my anti nausea meds for chemo. As you can imagine, anti nausea meds are essential to the success of chemotherapy or your experience during chemotherapy. And, I'd called my order in and went to pick it up. And I was looking through the prescription and it had only been partially filled. And I flagged it and was like, oh, I'm missing one of the three subscriptions. And they were like, oh, yeah, sorry about that. It got missed for some reason. No problem. We can have that filled for you tomorrow and you can just pick it up tomorrow afternoon. I felt myself go from super calm to like anxiety level 100 because chemo was supposed to be the next morning, and if I couldn't get those meds I couldn't do treatment, and if I couldn't do treatment that meant that everything was delayed and it messed up all kinds of childcare and all kinds of mental strategies that I have in place for effective coping mechanisms. So as I said, I could feel myself go instantly from like cool as a cucumber to, I don't know, a melted popsicle on the sidewalk. Terrible analogy. Needless to say, I was hella anxious. And then I just stopped. And I actually stopped myself, took a really deep breath, calmed myself down, found an anchor point on the wall to look at, and anchor, not anger, anchor point, just to like focus my intention. And I said to myself, this has a solution. I don't know what that solution is yet, but I know when it comes to me, I will know what it is. Took another deep breath out and I just relaxed. I required a little more self-talk, things like, don't worry, they're figuring this out. People are here to help you. People want you to have success. There are lots of solutions around this. There are other pharmacies, there is a hospital, etc., etc. But the overwhelming focal point for me, mentally and auditorially in my head, was this has a solution. I don't know what it is yet, but I know it will come to me when the time is right. And that is a really effective tool. Why? Because every problem does have a solution. And if you are somebody who experiences a lot of worrying or a tendency to feel anxiety, when you encounter a problem, it's scary because it feels like it doesn't have a solution, or it can feel like it doesn't have a solution. It can feel like it's just a problem, and it's a problem for you that is going to mess up a cascade of events in your life. And that feels really uncomfortable. Fun fact, did you know that I'm a bit of a psychology nerd? You do now. Fun fact about your brain: when you are experiencing stress and threat, your brain doesn't differentiate the stress of a bear chasing you and, your prescription not being ready at the pharmacy. Your body experiences that stress on a physiological level. It triggers different hormone responses. It's a chemical process that starts to unfold. And as I said, like, I cannot say this loudly or clearly enough, your brain perceives threat in one way, and that is like mega threat. That's how we're designed to process stress and trauma. It kicks our body into action mode, right? I'm sure you've heard flight or fright, fight, flight, or fright mode. So you either want to get the hell out and run away from your problems, you seize up with terror, or you just want to fight it. In any case, what I'm trying to say, not so eloquently, is that when shit goes down and it hits the fan, your body just reacts. So it's up to you to take conscious action over your thought, and you have to streamline that process and almost like compress the anxiety for yourself so that you can get your body to come down and calm down. And you can do that rationally and cerebrally in your brain, but it takes little cues like this has a solution. It's a great little phrase to pop up in your brain, and just save it. So anytime you experience adversity or a challenge, just say to yourself, this has a solution. I don't know what it is yet, but I know that I'm open to receiving it when it does. And as I say, next time you face anxiety, next time you face a challenge or a hurdle, just know that it has a solution, because I promise you that it does. It's really frustrating when you encounter something that's going against your plan or that isn't working out. But what makes it worse is freaking out. What makes it worse is spiraling out of control and not being able to get a handle on it. What makes it better is solving the problem, right? And if you can't solve the problem right away at the time, then just be open to solving the problem, because sometimes it's a good night's sleep that helps. Sometimes it's talking it out with a friend. Sometimes it's just the, journaling it out helps. Just like getting it out of your system and starting to write down all the factors that are involved. And sometimes it's just time. Some of those big problems, they don't have an immediate solution. Sometimes they don't have a solution that comes in a couple of weeks. My goodness, sometimes it takes a few months. It almost, for like those big things, and I'm talking like life change kind of traumatic things, sometimes it takes a couple of years for a solution to unfold in the way that you want it to. Maybe not the answer you want to hear, but the truth. There is always a solution. Sometimes it just takes a little time and patience and a lot of faith, to trust that process, that the solution is coming to you. You just need to be open to hearing it. Something that has helped me with that process and really eliminating anxiety and just dealing with it so much better if it does rear its ugly head, if things are really piling up and I don't have a good grasp. I wrote on Instagram this week about my friend Charlotte in California, who offers this big sacred map tarot reading for 2019. You can reach out to her. I'll link the site here. And she'll ask you a few questions about your intentions for the year, and she'll do a tarot reading for you that unfolds across the entire 12-month calendar year. What is amazing about that, especially when you find yourself up against a hurdle or a challenge or something generally unknown, you can go back to your sacred map and use it like a spiritual roadmap for the year. I've done this for the past 3 years, I think. And when I first get it, I'm like, not really sure this makes sense for me. And then I keep using it as a touchstone. So I'll touch back quarterly or even monthly and just kind of reread it and figure out where my life is at, where my emotional state is at, where my business is at, where my family and personal and love life is all at. And I start to just juxtapose all of my feelings and experiences against the map or the reading that I have done. And it is remarkable to see how aligned it is. And I find that incredibly comforting, because it's in those times of stress and it's in those times of uncertainty when our brain wants to be like, get the hell out, it's all falling apart, just run. And as I said earlier, it's up to you, it's up to me to consciously talk ourselves down from that and self-soothe and comfort and maintain the perspective that this is all okay. It's just unfolding in a way that maybe we didn't anticipate happening. So yes, check out Charlotte Elia and her Sacred Map reading. A huge benefit. It has been a huge benefit to me and continues to be for 2018, 2019. And she has like a super deal happening right now that only goes till December 15th. So if I were you, I would jump on that and take advantage of it. And the take-home message for sure is, especially as we head into the holiday season and things start to get like a little chaotic, family dynamic wise, for example, anytime you experience adversity, challenge, uncertainty, this has a solution. I don't know what it is right now, but I know it will come to me when the time is right. You can do it. I know that you can. Thanks so much for being here, and I hope you have just a beautiful day. Bye.